Hey, what's up everybody? This is Power Glove Pixels back again with a new video. So in today's video, I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on the PolyMega system. To me, honestly, this is one of the systems that I have been keeping an eye on for, I believe, 2-3 years when it got announced. And what it is, basically, it's the ultimate emulator box for me personally. Me being a person that wants the purest, wants the best. I think this has a lot of potential. Now, let me explain what this is. So right now at the moment, it's compatible with 30 systems, as you can see. It's playable up to over 9,000 games, and it's like 30 years in the making according to this website. So everything that you see here, it's compatible. Now, I'm gonna show you guys what it is. So the PlayStation, as you can see here, according to one of the people that are making this system, is 90% compatible at the moment. Now what's cool about this device is that you can update it, and they're going to keep updating this system, so eventually it will be 100%, but at the moment it's 90% of games that are compatible with the PlayStation 1. Now you would think that the PlayStation 1 is easy to emulate, but it's not. Honestly, it's kind of tough, honestly. And from my experience, I've been doing a lot of emulation for the past 4 years, and I've noticed from my experience, the Saturn is a pain in the ass and the PS2 is a pain in the ass. Now you can say, yeah, you could run it, but believe it or not, I have a high-end PC and it still does not run well. And if you do make it to run, sort of, you got to jump through loops, do all kinds of shit, and that's not what I'm looking for. This, honestly, what it does, basically, you put your physical disc or your physical cartridge into the system, and it dumps the file into a hard drive. So this system is going to have either a hard drive, and apparently has an M2 and an SSD or something, and from what I understand, it dumps the file into there, and then that's it. You don't need the game anymore. So that's pretty awesome. So a lot of these games, you can build an awesome collection into here. You know, as much as I hate to say this, I know they're gonna hack this, and I think when they do hack this device is gonna be amazing, because you're gonna be able to play all kinds of systems. Now apparently they're working on the Dreamcast, but they don't want to say it right now. What else did they say? We might see GameCube, maybe, possibly, but the Dreamcast is the one that I'm seeing that it might come in the near future. I've heard some people say in the forums, and apparently that they're working on that, but we're probably gonna see that, you know, either late this year or most likely until sometime next year. We're gonna see the Dreamcast. But honestly, personally, I don't really need the Dreamcast because I already have this DC HDMI. So for me, I'm not looking for that on the system. What I'm looking on the system is mostly the Saturn, because that's a system that is tough as shit to emulate. It's one of the hardest systems, you know, and I have my personal Sega Saturn, and bringing that experience to the HD, it will be amazing. Then we have the Genesis, then we have the 32X. That's amazing too, because I have the Mega SG, and unfortunately at the moment that does not play 32X. Then we have the Sega CD, awesome. Then we have the Sega 32X CD, which is awesome as well. That's what I'm looking for. The TurboGrafx 16, the TurboGrafx 16 CD, the PC Engine, the PC Engine CD-ROM, the Super Arcade CD-ROM. Not really sure what that means. Super Arcade CD-ROM. Then we have the Super Graphics. Then we have the Neo Geo CD. Now, I'm excited for this one because apparently they showed it off at E3, and the loading times are super fast. And every game came out on this that was originally on the cartridge came out to the CD. And one of the most tragic things that happened when this came out back in that time is that the loading times were horrible. And now they fixed it, so it feels amazing. Obviously, it's not going to be as fast as the original cartridge, but it's day and night. Makes a huge difference using it through this device. Then we have the NES. Then we have the Super NES, then the Super Famicom. So let's read what it says. So how does it work? So with just the PolyMega base unit, you can play games from CD-ROM based systems like the original PlayStation, the TurboGrafx 16, through an expansion. So what's cool about this device is that you can attach different attachments to the systems, and apparently for example, for cartridges you have to swap it, and that's one area where a lot of people are saying that's kind of dumb, but for me personally, I think that's what makes it kind of unique in my opinion. And yeah, I mean, what else does it say here? Universal controller. Apparently this is going to be the universal controller here that you see to your right. Apparently this is going to work with everything. So I don't know, I'm pretty excited for this. Apparently no lag. Now this one, I've heard from people that it's pretty good. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some lag, but you're probably not even going to notice it. But I'm pretty excited. Another area where I think it's important, and a lot of people miss, just miss this, is the presentation. Honestly, I've been gaming on the Super NT and the Mega SG, and one of the areas where I wish they would have done better is the presentation. It looks like shit. The menus, to me personally, look like shit. Does not look like anything. The difference on this, nice cover, you can search, that's something that I like, stuff like that. And you can't even do that with the Mega SG or the Super NT. And what's cool about this, it has the pictures of the systems, and that's cool. That's something that I always wanted to see in these systems, because at the moment I would say the one that's pretty good when it comes to emulation is the NVIDIA Shield. That's another device that's pretty solid, but at the end of the day, it kind of feels like they're trying way too many things, and it doesn't translate good in some of their games, if that makes any sense. Another thing that you see right here, let me go back, there's a light gun coming out, and that's very important because there's a lot of games like, I believe, Time Crisis on the PlayStation, and maybe if they release Dreamcast, we're gonna see this as a way to, a gap to play some of these shooting games. There's tons of games if you go back, even the NES, I believe, and the Super. And so for me, I'm super excited for this system. Now if you're wondering when this system is coming out, let's go into the pre-order, and I'm gonna give you guys more detail on that. So if you want to buy the base system that comes with a wireless controller, it's going to cost you $299. Now keep in mind that this package is going to be able to let you play Sega CD from everywhere. That's including Japanese and Europe, Sega Saturn, TurboGrafx 16, Neo Geo, and the PlayStation 1. So for $300, you're getting this. Now you can say use emulation. Okay, I get it. But if you have the physical copy of these discs, this is a major plus. And if they can pull it off, this is going to be one of the greatest devices in my opinion, because if you can put I have tons of PlayStation 1 games and Sega Saturn games, and if I can put them here and they work, and most importantly, you can see these in my 4K TV, I will gladly pay the $299. Now, am I gonna get one? I'm still thinking about it, because the thing is this: they have had a record of saying they're gonna keep releasing it, and they keep delaying it. Last year they said they were gonna come out, and it got delayed. I believe it was supposed to come out in December, got delayed. Then again, I believe in early of the year this year, it got delayed again. So right now at the moment, it's scheduled to get released in, I believe, August 21st, which is in about 2 months from now, I believe. And that's one of the things that's kind of stopping me. I'm like, I want to, but what happens if they delay it again? And I don't want to commit. And when you do this transaction or this purchase, they want the money up front. So it's not like they're gonna charge you when it ships, like kind of like Amazon. No, they're gonna charge you now. So if it's $300, they're gonna charge you those $300 plus taxes and shipping. Now, I was looking at this one as well. There's a bundle for $499. Okay, now I tried to see how much this one's coming out in total, and it was coming out to $587 if you want this system in particular. And the reason is because it comes with the other adapters, which is the NES, the Super, Genesis, and the TurboGrafx 16. Now, do I recommend this for everybody? No. I only recommend this for someone that is hardcore, like me, a purist, like me, that wants that perfect, I want to say perfect, to be honest with you, because at the end of the day, this is a emulation box. But I always look at things how I can bring them to the HD era, and Saturn is one of the systems where I always wanted to bring into the HD era, and as well as the TurboGrafx 16. Not much the NES or the Super, because I already have the Super NT, and I don't know, just for me, not really. The Genesis, the only part where I'm interested is the 32X and the Sega CD 32X. But other than that, you know, yeah. So for me personally, I'm still thinking about it. If I'm gonna pull the trigger on this, if I decide, then maybe at the end of the month I will buy this one in particular, the $499. Now, yeah, this is a lot of money, but like I said, it's not for everybody. This is for someone that, you know, wants everything and under a special box. Now, you can do Raspberry Pi and stuff, but don't lie to yourself. From my experience, I have gained a lot on these systems. I've tried on Raspberry Pi, and one of the biggest problems I've noticed is there are a couple systems that for some reason they don't run well. Okay, and I have a high-end PC, and you know, you could make it run, but you just have to jump through loops. You got to do all kinds of shit through the drivers, and it's just crap. With this, it's easy. You just put your Sega CD in there, your Sega Saturn, and that's it. You don't have to go, and especially the menus and everything just looks great. From my experience, the PS2, I feel that a lot of these developers, when they made these emulators back in that time, I believe they didn't have that many resources. You know, a lot of times these developers don't have that money to invest into this, and so they make a rough draft of these emulators. So at the end of the day, it doesn't translate correctly into you know, playing these games in particular, like for example PS2, and you know, even the N64. If you play N64, there are some games that don't run well. No matter what you do, no matter what type of settings you do, for some reason it just doesn't run well, and that was my biggest drawback. And apparently with this, it's gonna run good. Now the biggest question that I have is how well is this gonna run? You know, how great, you know, because if it is dumping the file or dumping the you know, the file from the cartridge or the disc, you know, that's one of the biggest things, that concerns that I have, is how it's gonna run. You know what I mean? If this can pull it off and run it good, then I'm happy. You know what I mean? I'm definitely happy. Now, like I said, let's just see, wait and see. Now, if you want to know exactly when this is gonna start shipping, if you start doing the process and you're doing the pre-orders and stuff, it starts shipping on August 21st of this year. So I would say late summer. And apparently there were some delays because of the Intel that they were using. So keep in mind that this is not a Raspberry Pi inside. No, this actually has a motherboard. I believe it has RAM. So this is like a mini PC, you can say, but it's configured to run all these systems amazing according to them. And like I said, I like the presentation on this. Yeah, I don't know, I'm excited, but I'm kind of like, you know, waiting and seeing what, you know, the outcome of this is gonna be. And yeah, I don't know what to think. So I'm still thinking about it. Let me know down below, what do you guys think about this device? Are you guys planning to get this device? Do you guys trust this company, PolyMega? Because you know, in the past they've acted very unprofessionally towards other companies. For example, they kind of bashed Analog, the company that makes Super NT, and I don't know. For me personally, I want to, but then there's another half of me that says just wait and see. So let me know down below. This is pretty much it for the video. These are my, you know, my thoughts on this device. If you guys are planning to get it on August 21st. So this is Power Glove Pixels. Till next time.